What's up guys, it's Brahamid here again with some more 3-star attacks from the Weekend War. But before that I've recorded an attack from Mealy Pudding using Valkyries. Mealy's posted a guide on the password protected part of the website as to how to use Valkyries, so I wanted to just do a little video to accompany that. As you can see here, pretty good high level, almost maxed out Town Hall 9 base, just showing you the range of the clan castle there as well. As Mealy Pudding explains, you're going to want to get a lure with Valkyries. They can take out a lot of clan castle troops very quickly, but you don't really want them taking 2 or 3 hits from wizards in quick succession, because that can knock them all out. So I think in my opinion and his, if you can get the lure you might as well get it. Just makes the whole raid a lot safer. So there's the standard clan castle kill. If you're not using this, then I recommend you try it. It's 2 witches, a wizard and 2 barbarians in your clan castle, and it can pretty much deal with any defensive clan castle. And then you can see Mealy Pudding, as he describes in the guide, he's going to create a funnel using his heroes and also using a couple of wizards, and then just throw those Valkyries in, and they go through that wall like it isn't even there once they get onto it. And that's why he's dropped his jump spell a little bit further inside. And there, as he described, they go straight for the Archer Queen, so that seems to be a really good magnet to draw them into the centre. And now they're just going to follow the buildings, and I think pathing's probably the main thing with Valkyries. It's pretty hard to know where they're going to go, but that's simply because we don't use them very often. But basically they're just going to go for the next nearest group of buildings. So what you want to watch out for, as Mealy Pudding explains, is don't go for bases with a ring around the centre, because pretty much the Valkyries will just follow that round and they'll never hop over the wall into the middle, even if you've got your jump spell in. And there, as you saw, the Hogs come in from the back, and that stops the Valkyries bogging down in the centre and not being able to escape. And then he's brought basically just heal spells apart from that one jump spell, and that's because Valks do plenty of damage, so you just want to keep their health topped up so they stay alive. And that works really nicely with Hogs because they're going to want to be under heal spells as well. And so hopefully the Valks and the Hogs are going to meet up in the middle, and you'll be able to keep them all healed with the same spells. And there you go, just speeding it up now. I recommend you all go and read that guide though, because there's definitely some bases out there that could go down pretty easily to Valks. I know not a lot of people have got them maxed, but I'm sure you will have them soon, so definitely something worth checking out. Okay, so next up I want to show Andy's attack from the Weekend War, and this is basically a Hog Rider attack. You'll see from his army composition in a minute, he brings about 22 Hog Riders and 4 heals, and all of that is for the Hog part of the attack. The other part of the attack is Gowiwi, but not using too many troops, so just using up those remaining troop spots. And the aim of that is to detonate some giant bombs. It's to help with the hog pathing so that hogs don't path up towards the giant bombs, and also to take out the clan castle and the enemy queen. This is a really good one to watch if you're still struggling to find ways to 3-star bases like this. I mean, this is probably a more maxed out in terms of defences base than the one I just showed with the Valkyries. Hasn't quite got the walls to the same level, but it's still a pretty tough base. And it's quite possible that if you were to just bring a straight up go wipe for this, or a Gowiwi, you wouldn't get the 3-star, you're much more likely to get a 2-star. So if you're in that position where you're not finding the 3 stars yet, this is one of the best strategies I think to make a start with. Don't pick a base that's too difficult. This is quite a tough base. Aim a little bit lower. Start off with a small go wipe or a small Gowiwi with the aim of taking out the queen and the clan castle, and then hog as normal. Don't be afraid, if you only need to bring 20 hogs, if you only got space to bring 20 hogs, don't be afraid to do that. You need to get that queen down no matter what, and you need to get that clan castle down no matter what. Otherwise you'll never be able to hog the base successfully, because they just do far too much damage to hogs since they got their nerf. And here you can see, now that Andy's got the queen engaged and taken down the clan castle, he's free to drop his hogs in. And I mean, this attack goes particularly well because Andy didn't even need a spell for his Gowiwi, so he's got 4 spells now to keep the hogs up, and there's probably only about 2/3 of this base left alive, or maybe even half now at this point. So don't be afraid yourself to bring a rage or a jump spell to help with that Gowiwi and get it into the centre, and just bring the 3 spells to keep up your hogs, particularly if you aim for a slightly easier base. I think this is the kind of attack that you don't have to have maxed out troops for. Yeah, you need the maxed out hogs, but you don't necessarily need the maxed out golem. Probably better to use witches if they're at a higher level, but most people have got the Peckers, so you could maybe go with a go wipe instead. And obviously you can always request that high level golem for your clan castle. So a really good one that I think a lot of people should try, especially if you're struggling to find that 3rd star. Next up I'm going to show GCH's attack using balloons and lava hounds. At least, sorry, I hope that's how you say your name. obviously I showed quite a few balloon based attacks, and I did quite a few myself early on in the videos, and I've seen people replicating them and with varying degrees of success. This is a pretty good base to choose to loom because you can see the air defences are kind of external there, and also another benefit, although a minor one, is that the wizard towers are right next to the air defences, so they're going to focus on your lava hound as well, and they're not going to hit your balloons. So it's definitely a good choice. And the reason I wanted to show this is because I think GCH just shows you how to get it done. I've seen people trying it and not quite getting it right, but this is how you can make it work for you on a base like this. You know, not a completely maxed out base, but it's pretty high level. You know, tough defenses. And you'll see at the end of this, there's loads of balloons left, and it just shows how the balloons can really make it look easy. So the first step is to get in there and take out an air defense, and it's to get the queen, and that's been done in this case with a golem. Sometimes you can do it with your heroes, but if you don't have really high level heroes, you're going to want to use a golem to do it. And then you just want to drop in those lava hounds over the air defences. And my only minor criticism here would be the rage spell placement could be a little bit better. Don't be too optimistic with where you think your balloons are going to go. They're not going to follow the rage, so don't drop the rage where you think they're going to go. Drop it over the defences, because that's where they're actually going to go. And you'll see here the balloons in every case sort of split away from the air defences before moving back towards them, which isn't a big deal, but you know, don't drop your rage over an air defence just because you want your balloons to go there. Drop it over whatever defences your balloons are going to hit first, and that'll move them more quickly towards the air defence. But as you can see there, I mean, I just had time to talk about dropping rages, and this base is completely wrecked, and there's about 10 balloons left alive as well. So this is a really great attack to use against a lot of Town Hall 9 bases, and particularly if the defender hasn't put any thought into how to defend against Lavaloon. You can see here we're just in the cleanup phase now, so I'll speed it up in a second. But yeah, the thing to look out for, a reason why that was a good base to use lava hounds and balloons against, was the air defences were quite exposed. The queen was accessible, so she could be taken down, and as an added benefit, those wizard towers were also going to shoot the lava hounds once they were targeted on the air defences. And last but by no means least for this war, I've got a replay from Andrew, and this was one I really enjoyed watching back. It was basically a Gowiwi attack again with back end troops, but this time it was more focused on the Gowiwi. So whereas Andy before was using a hog based attack with a small Gowiwi, this is quite a big Gowiwi with a few balloons on the back end. But you can see here it's a pretty interesting base. I'm just showing you the ranges of those air defences, and basically what Andy's identified here is if he comes in from the top and knocks out the king, the queen, the clan castle, kind of takes out that whole section at the top there with his Gowiwi, then he will also probably take down the air defences, and he can just drop in a couple of balloons to knock out that whole bottom section. So you can see here he's creating a nice wide funnel, destroying all the trash buildings so none of his heroes go walkabout, and then he's going to come in from the top, and from that point on, once the heroes are inside, they're just going to work their way down. There's not a whole load of point defense in there, in fact, so it's a really good position to get your heroes into because they're not going to get taken out too easily. All of the point defense is off there down the bottom, but it's not going to do much good against the balloons. And there, a little bit unluckily, the king goes walkabout. And actually, if you take the time to watch him during this attack, he spends about a minute whacking on one wall, and just as he's about to break it, he changes his mind and hits another. But it doesn't have any bearing on this raid, luckily. But there you can see the queen has gone into the middle. Plenty of spells to use to take out the bottom half of this base. So when you think that a lot of the defences are down the bottom there, they're not even involved in this raid. Andy's really identified the weakness of this base quite well. You know, the top half of the base can be taken out completely with a good Gowiwi, and he doesn't even need to worry about the bottom half because he can just drop some balloons and take out all those cannons once his queen's locked onto those air defences, which she's doing now. So again, if you're wondering, how do I get these 3 stars? You know, I'm just getting 2 stars. Well, this is one of the ways. Bring your Gowiwi, but instead of bringing loads and loads of wizards or an extra golem or something like that, bring these back end balloons, particularly if there's exposed cannons. Archer towers to a lesser extent because obviously they do shoot balloons, but you still only need 2 balloons to take out an archer tower safely. And if it's really exposed, you can probably do it with 1. And then I'll just speed it up now because all of those defences are taken out and it's just a clean up job. So I think that's probably going to do it for this week because I haven't got any more replays. I might take some replays of the midweek war, but otherwise I'll probably wait for the weekend war. It's been a pretty busy week at work this week, so I might have rushed through this video a bit. Not maybe gone into the same amount of detail that I normally do, but I think they're pretty good videos to watch back just to get an idea of the kind of attacks you could be doing, particularly if you're struggling to get those 3 stars and you're stuck getting 1 or 2. There's a lot you can learn this week. So thanks for watching, guys.